Okay, so this is part B or part 2 to 10.2. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do here is probably going to switch back and forth over and draw some things out because you guys know how awesome. No laughing. And so probably going to switch back and forth, which if you're watching this online, you're not going to be able to see that just simply because it doesn't allow it to do that. But I'm sure that you'll more than get the understanding as I'm describing it. So I love this picture. This picture is the Sierra Nevada mountain range, and when we see it, one of the things that you see is you say, oh, I see a mountain. It's above ground. It's always been there. It has not always been there. And what do I mean by that? Well, this particular mountain range, the Sierra Nevadas, this was a batholith. All right, so you've got different ways of making mountains. You can make them by vertical uplift of continents crashing into each other, or you can have this situation, which it happens to be a magma mass, or a mass made out of magma that is thousands and thousands and thousands of kilometers long and wide and huge, and so this is what we refer to an intrusion. So here's my question for you. All right, I'm going to come in between Luke and Jalen, and I am butting my way in so they can no longer talk to each other. I'm being an intrusion, right? So I'm between them. Or someone comes into your room while you are Skyping with your boyfriend or FaceTiming with your girlfriend, and your mom's like, you need to knock that stuff off, and then you're like, Mom, you're intruding in on my conversation. Can I not have my space? Well, an intrusion is just that. So this particular mountain range we're here, you can't see while I'm drawing because I've now switched to the whiteboard. But basically, if I draw the Sierra Nevadas, which I'm doing right now, which is an excellent job with the Sierra Nevadas here. I mean, just so amazing drawing. Now I'm drawing a little mountain climber on the side of the mountain. All right, so here are the Sierra Nevadas, but here's the difference. Now we'll get rid of mountain climber, dude. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to put layers of dirt and soil and whatnot on top of that. Well, the Sierra Nevada started out that way. What happened is we have this magma field that pushed up and made an intrusion, batholith, this major area. And as it did, it was there and solidified. So what ends up happening? Now, years and years of time go by, drawing out the Sierra Nevadas again, only there's no dirt on top because it's all either weathered away or eroded away or washed away out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere. It's gone, right? And so now you've got what's left is the Sierra Nevadas. It is, again, this giant mountain that was there because this magma solidified. Batholith. Right? And again, we're going to go in decreasing size. All right? So this is as big as it freaking gets, and we're going to decrease now. Okay? A stock. A stock to me is maybe the size of a state, maybe the size of, I don't know, maybe half a state. It's less than a batholith. So we've decreased in size. Same thing, just covers a little less area. Okay? A laccolith literally means a lake of rock. Now, here's what's cool about laccoliths. Laccoliths are all over. You see them all over, but you don't realize you're seeing them. All right, so what I want to do is show you a picture of the Black Hills of South Dakota. Now, the Black Hills are gorgeous. All of these nubs, and you can see them in here, little laccoliths. Chief Crazy Horse, which is now being formed. This was a laccolith. Mount Rushmore. This is a laccolith. So it kind of get the idea real easy. These nubs, if you will, these laccoliths. And they just outcrops of, and this one happens to be jagged, but these outcrops of magma that solidified underneath the ground. Okay. The next one, actually I got, do you mind if I show you this next picture? I want to show you a picture first, then I'll come back to this. The picture I want to show you is this. Anybody ever been to Atlanta? No. Atlanta is an amazing place. It's a cool place down in the middle of nowhere. They call it Hot Atlanta because it's hot. It has its own. It makes its own increase in temperature because of all the land mass and the asphalt and everything there. But see this little nub back here? This is a laccolith. This is called Stone Mountain. Here is Stone Mountain, and what you have here is this granite monolith, for lack of better terms, this granite zit on the outside of the earth, and it is popped up here, and people love this thing. They go climb it all the time. It is an amazing outcrop. It just doesn't look like it's in the right place, and it's the only one, and it's this laccolith. This is that lava or this magma that solidified underneath the ground. Okay, a sill. This one's easy, but I'm going to describe it. People who are watching are going to be able to see this. So I'm going to come over here to my window. I'm coming to my window. I'm at my window, and I'm pointing to the thing that's at the bottom of the window. Emily, what is that? The windowsill, right? Okay. Yeah. What does a windowsill do? Well, it collects all my stuff. I leave my pictures there, right? Some pencils up there, maybe. A picture, right? My coffee mug, which is precariously propped up there that might fall over and just destroy everything. Yes, it's there. But a windowsill is where the window meets the edge of the building. Everybody agree? Mm-hmm. Everybody good there? Okay. All right. So a sill, right, is what happens when, and I'm drawing out the top of the ground. This is top. This is where you walk. Kind of strolling there, repping with Bernie. There we go. All right, so this is where you walk. All right. Now, here's the deal. What happens is we have magma intrusions, maybe a batholith, maybe a laccolith, maybe a stock, okay, whatever. But what happens is this. Some of that sometimes shoots off horizontally, and it cuts off the top from the bottom. It forms a break. It forms a sill. It keeps them separated. All it is magma that's shot off horizontally. It may be that it goes up and then down a little bit. Not really sure I care. It's the principle. It's basically horizontal, right? So this would be a sill. Everybody good with sill? Pretty easy. Not too bad. So basically magma flows between the layers of the rock. Okay. Thickness? Okay. Depends on what it is, where it's at, how thick it is. Okay. Okay. The next one is pretty easy. It's a dike. Now, normally when you think of dikes, you're thinking of rivers, right? A dam, a levee, a dike, something to hold back water, right? Something to hold something back. Well, that is similar in the sense that dikes are such that what they're doing is they are a vertical break. Now, again, I'm going to draw this out who are not watching. Basically what happens, we have our magma intrusion here, and it shoots off vertically, separating two spaces again vertically, right? Well, okay, so here's my question. Does it have to go exactly vertically? No. Generally what happens is it follows a crack. Maybe an earthquake took place and you've got a break or a crack in there, and so it seeps through there and melts the rock through there, and it's a weaker place. And it forms a dike. Interestingly enough, these may not be extremely important terms to you every day of your life, but when it comes to people who are prospecting for gold, yeah, they look for these things because when we have this kind of heat associated with this, they're looking for deposits of gold, lead, silver, platinum, whatever, where it is cooled off, and that's where that pool has come together at. So, yeah, pretty cool. All right, so everybody's good. Is everybody good with batholith? Everybody good with stock? Laccolith? You know, if I were to gauge them, to judge them, I'm going, one's freaking big as a country, the other one is about half a state. Just saying. A laccolith is probably as small as 4 or 5 miles or 10 kilometers square. We're going from big to not so big to even not so bigger, right? Even smaller, right? Again, laccolith. I love Stone Mountain. All right. So this next one, what we have here is a picture, again, of a volcanic neck. And I'm going to talk about this, but this is what you're looking at here, over here on the right. And you see, if I were to draw a volcano around that, sure enough. So what's happened here? Well, a volcanic neck is pretty interesting, right? So, any of you ever, in your lifetime, burp? Burp, you know, burp.
What is burp?
It's kind of like when you vomit and burp at the same time, and it just comes right up to about in the middle of your neck. Right. So, if you think of a volcanic neck, this is kind of like the burp of volcanoes, right? So what happens is this. The magma, lava, depending on where it's at, as it goes through, it starts to intrude up into the volcano, right? But then it solidifies, right? So as it solidifies up there, eventually this material on the outside that's the volcano weathers away and erodes away and ends up going somewhere onto the ground or into a river or into the ocean or wherever. And then lo and behold, you have a volcanic Now, yeah, it is pretty cool actually. Most famous one is Devil's Tower that we know. I'm going to show you. I'll come back to this. Just give me 2 seconds. Again, lava neck. All right, here we go. So we'll start here. We went out. I do, obviously, you know that I'm on the road quite a bit. Went out to Rapid City, South Dakota to help them put a drug program in. Devil's Tower is not too far from there. This is out of the P2D2 Dodge 2500 Mega Cab. Just driving down the road. Note that it's on the right-hand side. I am not taking the picture while I'm driving, so please do not think I'm a lawbreaker, right? So as we're coming up here, you'll notice I take a bunch of pictures. Now, from the outside, it looks like a volcano sitting there. Now, this is in Wyoming. As you keep driving up, there's nothing else out here. Maybe some laccoliths every once in a while, because why? We're in the Black Hills of South Dakota area. And as we keep driving up closer, I got excited. I kept having them. This one's out my window, right? So I did take this one. I'm not going to lie about that one. But the reason why is because we're stopped waiting to get in. As we get in, we get in closer. Here's Bailey and Taylor. But look at what we got here. This is the neck of a volcano, right? Awesome. So this is in Wyoming, right? Wyoming. Well, probably one of the most geologically active areas there is, right? This is me climbing up to the top. I actually climbed up the top. I'm getting close. Let me just show you where I got to. I got like in here. So you'll see I almost lose my phone here. I get up to, that was when I was losing my phone. I'm like, and I took a picture of that. I was like, yeah. So this is where I eventually made it up to, up in this corner. What do you see? Yeah, so what happened is, as this cooled, it formed geometric columns. I believe they're hexagonal. They're in a hexagon. And the legend goes is the young Indian warrior was being chased by a bear, a grizzly bear. And as he was being chased by the bear, the young warrior climbed up to the top of the mountain, but the grizzly bear couldn't get up. And so as he did, he used his claws to drag away the side of the mountain until this was all that was left. Native American tribes lived here for years and years and years and years. Very popular place. And I just find it so fascinating to look at, right? So I made it up to here. I did a lot of climbing while I was there. And again, I took this picture just to show you. Look at the trees growing vertically on the side of this thing. It's just amazing. This was one of those pictures where I wasn't really paying attention. This is me climbing up the needles. So I was up here at the top. I was climbing pretty good. That was you? Yeah, that's me. You can definitely see. That was my red shirt. You can see my red shirt there. Yeah. Yep, that looks just like me. So that's the needles. Again, this is in a laccolith area. But what was cool is I took this picture. This is where the edge of the laccolith came down. And what I thought was pretty interesting about it was they made a tunnel here. Now, what's interesting is they tunneled all the way through this thing, and it's a long way through there. But what was interesting is my truck's width is, I think, 8'6" and 5 inch, 8'6", 8'6" and like a half, something like that. And so what ends up happening is this is only 8'5" across. And so to get through there, you can just imagine I had to fold up my mirrors to get through there. I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so I think that was it on the pictures. Yep. Okay, and this again is a batholith, right? You can see it's the huge mountain range, Brooks Mountain Range. All right, here we go. Okay, so next one, a lava flow. Lava flow. Okay. It's a lava flow. Oh, that makes sense. Right? And so that's exactly what it does. And I got some really cool video footage that I want to show you in a little bit here that I think you'll find really exciting that shows lava flow. Lava plateau. What's a plateau? An elevated plain, right? So what happens is lava flows out of a volcano, a crack, a skylight, a fissure, whatever. Flows out of the ground. As it does, it carpets the ground, fills in all the cracks, and it makes a plateau. All right, hold on. So, lava plateau. So, in the lava plateau, what you see is this elevated plain, right? Here is a lava flow, and as it flows, it eventually makes a plateau. What? I'm a poet and don't know it, right? Here's a lava plateau being developed, right? It's flowing out from this volcano back here, and it's making everything nice and flat. A lava plateau. Gotta love it. Devil's Tower. This is just different pictures. I didn't take those. Ship's Rock, New Mexico. Again, is a volcanic neck or a series of volcanic necks. Why is it called Ship's Rock? Because they thought it looked like the masts of giant sailing ships when they had the shadows, and that's why they called it Ship's Rock. Okay.